Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. We've made it to the end of our second week of virtual school. So, a few things. Yesterday, I sent out the championship round of the March Mammal Madness, and the winner was, drum roll, please, the gorilla. So, my final answer was, in fact, correct. My overall, though, not so great. Overall, on this front side, so what you do to get your score is you just count up the ones that you got correct. So where I have an X, those ones I didn't get points on. But I got a total of 46 points, which is pretty pathetic and horrible. I didn't do great, but it's better than my original guess, which I did even worse on, and I got 38 points. So it's more or less just for fun for the brackets. And if you are someone who's into like the basketball tournaments and you were missing doing the bracket challenges, this gave you a little taste of it still. The winner then was the gorilla. So I had two people who had the brown hyena as the winner. So nice job thinking it was going to get that far. That was pretty good. But there's 16 of you who got the correct answer, who guessed and had their bracket looking pretty good. So congratulations. Nice job. You picked the right one. So a few things for today. There is not a new assignment for science or history. You're just finishing up your peppered moth assignment if you haven't already done so. My goal is that we try and use Cami. It just looked like it was a really cool and easier to use tool. So give that a try. I did put the Google Doc version out there just in case like everything just wasn't working out and then it was back up. Also, there's the America Story of Us. It is a little bit longer. That's why you've got like you've got Friday, Monday, you've got a little extra time to kind of do that one. Both of those things I would be looking at to see what work has been done until next Tuesday, which would be the 7th at like 9 in the morning. So get those done by then. You've got this weekend if you need to finish those up or finish them up today. My goal is that they shouldn't take you too long over and above. The America Story of Us, I do know is going to take a little bit longer than maybe the Peppered Moth, but take some time. It's a pretty cool one, so check that out. Some other things are, we're kind of getting into hopefully a little bit of a groove. You're kind of like, okay, I know what to expect every day. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is when I'm going to have math and English. Tuesday and Thursday is when I'm going to have science and history. I've been getting good things in from everyone about like how they're doing. We sent out a survey to all of our homeroom students of just kind of a little check-in. Thank you for filling that out. Fill that out if you haven't yet. There is also my homeroom. We're going to be meeting at 1 o'clock today. If you are not in my homeroom though, and you're like, I'd like to be part of that meeting, just send me a quick email and I'll send you that link as well. So I'd like to see everyone. After I meet with my homeroom, I'm looking that somehow I can maybe be meeting with some of my other students as well. So I do miss seeing guys every day, but hopefully you're starting to get to a little bit like, okay, we can do this, we got this. I still don't know if we're going to be back yet this year, but we're going to make the best of it until we know what the rest of the year is going to look like. So with that in mind, I do have the Zach's Read Aloud is on here. I do have Earth Week. Check that out. Obviously, we're not going to be doing it quite as we did in class necessarily, but that's one of our next units we're getting into is pollution and population. So good things to be keeping up with that. That's why we kind of do it. It's because by the time we get to it, we're like, look at that. We know how to do stuff on that. So take a look at that. There's Zach's Read Aloud I already said. And Boredom Busters, hey, it is getting nice out. If you have some extra time this week, or this weekend rather, maybe go outside, pick up some sticks, maybe rake up some leaves. Do if you can. I know if I go home, I say that, but I'm like, if I go home and I would be, our backyard is usually mostly mud at this time of the year, so maybe don't pick up sticks there or rake those leaves, but you could do some other areas or maybe sweep out the garage, organize it up a little bit, sweep it out, make it look nice for the spring. So with that, I do have a quick little game you can maybe be playing this week. You may have heard of it, you may not have, but here's what it is. So it's informally called dots. I'm making a small one. Now, think about it. I'm making it on just like a small piece of paper. What if you did it? Well, this is just a random piece of paper, but if it was a full piece of paper instead, the game's going to be longer. So what you need to do is you need to make yourself a grid. So go along and you just want to match up these dots because what you're going to do is you and Usually I play with 2 people, but you could definitely play it with more than 2 people. Just make sure you have different colors you're using. Well, I'll tell you why in just a minute. So, okay, you're probably like, wow, Miss Maratik, I'm going to watch you do that. Nope, look at that. I thought ahead. So, I have it already done. Once you get all of your dots in a nice grid, and see, I tried to make them stay pretty equal. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, but again, like I said, if you have a small one, versus what if you have a big piece of paper. Okay, so your game can be a different lengths depending. But what I'm going to do is, well, I guess I have my little bunny here. So it'll be me and the bunny. I will use the color red. Bunny will use, I think I've got a black pen here. So we go usually like rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first. Since I'm the one that is a living thing, I get to go first. So I'm going to choose to put my line here. Bunny might choose to put it there. Might go over here. Bunny might start to get creative. If you play this enough times, you might find that there's a little bit of a strategy. But what you're trying to do is you want to start to get to the point that you can be making boxes. Now, obviously, you're like, okay, well, this is going to take a while. It does to get started, but you're waiting and you're patient because eventually, let's say this entire side of the board has gotten, we're just going to focus on this line. So Bunny and I are going to just play on this line of them. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where the only way one of you is going to have to do is you can only make one line, and then the next person gets to make a box. Now, every time you get to make a box, you get one more line. So I get to make all of these, because once you make a box, you get to make one more line, and you can keep making boxes. So now that I've just filled up that whole bit, now maybe, I'm going to go back to this. Now, obviously, you're going to wait until like the whole board is before you let someone get a box, but you can keep going here. So let's see. I wouldn't want to put a line there because then Bunny can make a box. So I've got to think strategy here. How can I make lines so that I can get the most boxes? Bunny's like, ooh, I'm going to jump over there. And I'm like, This is a pretty intense game if you can't tell. I should have gotten my clicky pen. There's one that I've got that's, so I'll go there. I could just flip it back and forth. I wouldn't need 2 different pens. Okay, so now we're getting to the point where if I make a line, it's pretty much going to leave Bunny to make boxes. So now I need to look at the point of where can I give Bunny the least number of boxes. I think if I go right here, yeah, Bunny can only make 1 box there. So then here, he needs to make a line somewhere. What is he going to do? I see, Bunny's like, ooh, I can make one here. And then me, I can be like, woo, I got a box. But now I need to choose where am I going to give Bunny a line of boxes. So I think I might go right here. So then Bunny gets... So Bunny needs to make 1 more now, and Bunny's going to want to give me the least number of boxes possible. I think Bunny's going to give me this one. So now I need to choose one to give Bunny. I think I'll give Bunny this. So this is where it gets to be fun. And a little bit of strategy as well. So Bunny has to give me a line, and I guess at this point, now it kind of becomes, just who had the turn. So you're going to see that I get, because Bunny's going to get one line, and then I get to start. I get that last one. Ha, 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 ha. So then Bunny's going to give me that one, and I get all those. And now there's nowhere else for these to go. So we now need to count up and who's the winner. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I got 28, and how many Bunny got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I think 21. I wonder if I counted off. I might be off one. But I am the winner. So then you play another game. If you do it on a dry erase board, guess what? You can wipe it off and then you don't have to throw away the piece of paper. Save the environment. But have fun with that. Play a few games. You could play from last week. I showed you how to play garbage. So you could play garbage again. Play another round of that. Or maybe you got some cool board games. Some people said they were also watching some movies with their families. So have a good weekend. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Have a great day, guys. Bye.